Hey guys, it's been some time, okay? Of course, it is me, your host, Amira Blaze, and welcome back to another fine live episode here of Bookshade. This is the program where every day is Halloween here, okay? Because reading is Halloween, all right? So, guys, I have missed y'all. It has been some time, but I have been sick. Okay. I have just been out of energy. I have been working long hours, but I have returned. I'm good. I am here. So, for today's live episode here of Bookshade, guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a complete paranormal romance book wrap up. Okay. And wrap ups seem to be really popular in regards to, booktube and all that. So I figure I was like, you know what? I've been reading pretty avidly. And my show is more focused on us adult alternative book readers out there. So, a lot of these books, they're more designed for, like, I would say, a adult reading type of level. So that's what my show focuses on. That's what we do here. Okay, so if you like historical fiction, okay, Bookshade's gonna be for you. If you like romance books, specifically like paranormal romance, your historical romance, and you just want a balls busting, keep it real critic type of approach to reading for adults, I'm gonna be your lady. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. Here is my wrap up of the books. Like, how I'm gonna do my wrap ups is I'll start off with the books that I'm going to read, and then finish it off with the books that I've already finished. Okay, and 2020 was a horrible year for me in regards to reading. My goal on my Goodreads was, for the 2020 reading challenge, I wanted to read 100 books. I only got 30, which is still not too bad, but I'm going to push myself this year. I got to get motivated. All right. So my goal once again is going to be 100 books. Hopefully I can get through it, but I'm off to a good start. So here are the books that I am going to start reading. Okay? I have this one, and it's not paranormal romance. This was actually given to me to, you know, to review. So these are the books here. So the first one is this one here, and it's called The Network by Margaret Lomas. And the premise of this book, and it's apparently really good, is you have this young woman who is a journalist, and she is like living the fantasy life, right? And she's got her man, her boyfriend, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden they just decide to break up, and she's like, just like in Sex in the City, right? I need a fresh start. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Because that happens in life. Sometimes a relationship, it works, and other times you're like, I done. Okay. So she decides to go overseas. And then what ends up happening is she starts to meet people, but probably because of what she's been through already, she don't know who to trust, who not to trust. And that's why you see up top on the book cover here, passion, deceit, and betrayal. She ends up meeting someone overseas, but things are not what they seem. So that's some of the gist of the premise that I read on the synopsis of this book. Normally, guys, this is a book. This is like way out of my comfort zone. This is very much a suspense type of book. It's apparently got a little bit of action in there. So I am curious to see how this is going to go for me, because I told myself, I said 2021 is going to be the year of Amira getting out of her comfort zone besides me reading, romance books and reading stuff that's more in the horror genre of things. I decided to kind of step out, challenge myself. This book is about around the 300, like mid 300 page range. So it shouldn't be too bad for me to like finish it, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So then the next book that I am currently reading, this is one that many of you avid romance book readers, okay, um, have told me to read. I got actually inspired by Peace Love Books because apparently she really likes this book series. A lot of y'all do. And this is right here. This is the book Lover Awakened, which is book 3 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward. Now, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I am the connoisseur of unpopular opinions. I think this book series is way overhyped. I know I'm into book 3, but I don't understand. Like, this book gets treated to the same book series, gets treated to the same level as like the Vampire Chronicles and a lot of really well respected like vampire, like romance type of book series. So I love Zetas, don't get me wrong. Like I was Team Raph, but I'm switching over to Zetas because this is his book and you learn a lot. He has been through some things, okay? He has he has been through it. I'm not going to spoil it because we're going to do a deeper commentary on how I feel about the book. But overall, I mean, it starts off strong, guys. It's got good, action components and stuff. Man, my camera is acting up today. Good. Maybe because I look so good, it's like I can't stay in focus. She's so fine. No, I'm being a mess here. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get through it, y'all. I'm on chapter 14 right now, so I might do some reading vlogs and maybe some reading like live streams of me just reading this and and giving my 2 cents on it. But I'm not impressed with it like I thought I would be. I mean, it has everything that I want. Sexy male vampires, yes, squad. There's some action in there. You got some good antagonists with the lessening society and all that. But it's really dry for me. I'm trying to get into it. Maybe I need to get into some more books in the series. And I know there was a new book that just came out recently. So all right, I'll try for y'all. So I'm on chapter 14. But I'm going to be reading the network first and then work on Black Dagger Brotherhood. And then finally, guys, this book series is so good. It's so good, guys. If you're looking for a campy vampire romance book story, this is going to be for you. This is the 9th installment and the final book in the Vampire Kisses book series by Ellen Schreiber. And the premise of these books is you have a main protagonist. Her name is Raven, and she is goth to the max. Okay. Like at the beginning of the book, one of her instructors asks her, she's like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And she's like, "I want to be a vampire. Like, that's all I aspire. That's all I aspire to be." And then eventually, because she lives in a place called Dullsville, which is a gossipy town. Okay, small towns equal gossip. Get your life. So the people be gossiping, and all of a sudden, she comes to find out that there is a family that's moving over to this. There's a family that like they live in Dullsville, and they got this Adams family looking house, and that's right up her alley. She's like, "Yeah, that's my thing." Come to find out, lo and behold, within the house there is a man that is so fine to her, and his name is Alexander Sterling. And each one of the books, guys, covers their like adventures, not only with Raven, developing and growing as a character, going through different life changes. And then this book series, guys, is very complex, though. It's very complex, really. It deals with things such as, is immortality really worth it? Also dealing with, you know, a human vampire relationship, and could that work, and things like that. It's really well written, and Ellen Schreiber, I would love to interview you. Like, yes. Like, she is so brilliant writing, absolutely like hilarious, and it's so relatable, like so relatable. So I highly recommend this book series. I highly suggest you guys read it if you're looking for something more lighter hearted, because sometimes like vampire romance can get real gothic, and it's not. Sometimes like I want to read, a romance book and be able to laugh instead of like cry and laugh and then cry and be like, oh damn, like, I would like to have like, a constant flow of some humor in there. So there are serious parts within this book series, but it's very good, guys. So this is the final installment. This is book. There's 9 books in all, but they're all really quick reads. And the first 8 books, guys, actually has audiobooks. I don't know. The last one does not. I don't know why. There's also mangas too that are based on this book series. Really, really, I I love it. It's so good. I'm so glad I got this. So I'm gonna be reading that to finish it up, and then I'll do a complete wrap up just on the Vampire Kisses book series. Now moving on from the books that I am going to read, 'cause I try to read 3 books a month, guys. Um, because it just, I need to pace it out so that way I'm, being more descriptive when I'm doing like my reviews and stuff here on the program. Okay. So the next thing here we're going to be talking about is the books that I have completely finished reading, and I'll give you my 2 cents on it. Okay. All right. So the first book is this book by Shahana Handel. I can't talk today, guys. It's been a long day, y'all. But it's Shahana Handel's Daddy. Okay. You have to say it like that. You can't be like Daddy. It's supposed to be a sexy book. So it's like Daddy, So this book, guys, is probably one of the most concise and craziest books that I have read so far for me. Okay. Now it might be tame for those of you who are more of the steamy, hot, romance readers. This is definitely tame, okay? But what makes this book crazy, what makes Daddy crazy, is it's the fact that, okay, you have these 2 protagonists. You have Charlotte and Eli, okay? And Charlotte is like crazy psycho, like obsessed with Eli, okay? Like, it's like almost like psycho girlfriend level. It's insane. And then she goes from that to being like completely complacent, submissive. So definitely some disclaimers. Okay. If you are not into super submissive like relationship, and I'm talking a whole nother level of 50 Shades of Grey, this book is not gonna be for you. If you are not into BDSM, specifically the dominant submissive part, like I mentioned before, not gonna be for you. Okay, I like my female protagonists to at least have some kickback. I mean, it is fun to read some of these where the woman's just like, whatever you say, daddy. It's funny to me sometimes, but other times it can be annoying because it's like, come on, honey, like grow some metaphorical balls, like, you know. But guys, this book was so crazy. Okay, she is so obsessed with Eli to the point, guys, that she actually tries to infiltrate, okay, a mafia compound. Okay, you must really love someone if you're trying to do that hot mess. Okay, this is a a mafia romance. Forgot to mention that, but it is crazy. Like I would not, I would not climb a mountain. I don't care how fine that man is. Okay, my life, the mountain, the man. Okay, men come and go, but once you climb that mountain and you pray you don't fall off that stuff, you got one life. Okay, serious. Like, but yeah, it's like one of those kind of. I noticed that's the trend now. It's very compact. Like novella action going on. So it is a really quick read. You can finish this probably in less than a day. But you see, for me, I'm one of those juicy readers. So I like to salivate and read, let it stretch out and be like, oh no, she didn't. Oh no, he did it. Ooh, okay. Do that to me, daddy. Yes. Like, okay. But guys, this book is so great. I mean, he spanks her for everything. It's a mess, but I won't ruin all of it. You just gonna have to read it yourself. In regards to me giving a rating, I would say it's legendary. It's not a masterpiece because there's some elements of the book where I'm like, okay, Charlotte, you are seriously annoying. You really need to get your stuff together, honey. Okay. And then there are other moments of the book where there's some action, but then like it just kind of focuses on Eli and Charlotte's relationship, which I like some action mixed in there, some excitement mixed in there. So that was like one of my main issues with the book. But overall, it was a really fun read. It's meant to be just a quick, steamy, like kinky read, as I call it. If you're expecting plot and character development, this ain't it, honey. Okay. But let's move on from there. All right. So then here are some of the other books, guys, that I have completed reading. So I did finish this one here. This is the Vampire Kisses. This is the compilation of the first three books, and it's called The Beginning. This one was pretty good. I mean, it's an introduction to Raven, to Alex, to her parents, to her brother. Fabulous, guys. Super funny. And just getting inside the mind of Raven, it's so great. Like she's just always like campy with her humor, and she's very blunt too. That's what I love about her, because she's just like, if someone's pissing her off, she's like, you're annoying, right? My favorite character besides Raven and her boyfriend, you find out later, Alexander. I really like Becky. Becky is her friend because she's the total opposite of her. Like she's super goth and she's super like country, and they just work really well together. They've been friends forever. So I really enjoyed her. But yeah, these are the first three books. And you can also get them separately, but guys, I would suggest just getting this. Save yourself some money. Seriously. Okay. Then you have the next book in the series here, which is called Dance with the Vampire. Now, this one is for each one of the books, guys. It adds a family member of the Sterlings in a way, and some other interesting elements as well. So, in book two, you're focusing pretty much on Valentine Maxwell, okay? And that whole situation, guys, is it's crazy. So, Valentine is pretty much he is just such a like at sometimes such a brat, and ends up being friends with Billy, who is Raven's younger brother. So this book kind of covers all the action that happens in there. Then we have book. Okay, so this is okay. So Vampire Kiss at the Beginning are the first three books. This is book number 4. Making sure I'm being correct here. So here is book number 5, which is the Coffin Club. Now this book, it gets interesting. Okay, so the Coffin Club is actually the name of a club that is in a place where her aunt lives. Aunt Libby, yeah. I love her too. She's great. She's just super hippie, super chill, and she just loves Raven for being who she is. But the Coffin Club is a club in this place that she likes to call Raven likes to call Hipsterville. And then you're introduced to a whole bunch of new newer characters like Scarlet, for example, and she at first, guys, here's the funny thing. In this book, people think that Raven is a vampire at the Coffin Club because the Coffin Club it's a mix of where vampires and humans kind of come together in a way. So they think that she's like a vampire, but she's not. But they like her because she's super cool, you know? So this kind of covers the events of what happens in the club, and you also meet a whole bunch of other interesting enemies as well. I won't go too deep into it because I'm gonna have to do a separate kind of wrap up because there's so many characters, guys. I mean, there's Raven's arch nemesis, for example. His name is Trevor. You'll hear about him throughout all of these books, you know. And then you have other characters too, like Luna, who is Alexander's like ex fiance. You'll find out all about that. A mess. Okay. Then you have book 6, which is Royal Blood. This one I didn't really, honestly, guys, I didn't really enjoy this one as much. So yeah, I think this was the one where oh yeah, this one, guys. There's so many books I've been reading. So this is the one where Raven actually meets Alexander's parents, the Sterlings, and they're hilarious. So, but it wasn't my favorite because there was not a lot of action. It was just them kind of going back and forth, trying to figure out. And there's like a surprise twist that happens between Raven and Alexander. So that's what this book is for. It was okay, not my favorite. Then you have next book here is book 7, and this is Love Bites. I just read this one not too long ago, recently. Okay, so this one, this one is kind of interesting because you have the addition of Alexander's friend who is called Sebastian, and he's like super handsome, all of that. And he ends up being attracted to Raven's friend. Remember, I told you who's named Becky, and it brings up this whole interesting dynamic. And then you still got Luna and a whole bunch of other people that like Luna does not care for Raven at all because of her, you know, the love that she has for Alexander and everything. So this starts to bring the kind of the upward climax to the towards the end of the series. This one did have a little more action, but not as much as early on in the series. But it's still good though. I did enjoy this one. And then this is book 8, and this is one that I read recently. Okay, so there's this other character that plays a pretty decent role in this book. This is Cryptic Cravings, and his name is Jagger. Okay, and Jagger and Luna are brother and sister, and they're just a pain in Raven and Alexander's side, you know, at times, you know. And what Cryptic Cravings covers is literally they want to have like a gothic club in Dollsville, but Jagger, well, knowing Jagger and how he's like one of the main antagonists in the series, um he's always very cunning, always trying to come up with some shit. So I won't, you know, go too deep. But let's just say this is where things start to really kind of fall apart. And it challenges Ravens and Alexander's relationship in some parts. So yeah, it was pretty good, but it wasn't to me as good as the first 4 books in the series. And then after that, I like the Coffin Club. So yeah, that's all I've been reading, guys. And then I also share with you what I am reading. You guys let me know of any other recommendations. Excuse me here. Any recommendations or other books that you guys like that are vampire romance or paranormal romance, or if you want to challenge me and want for me to read something a little bit different, definitely let me know in that brutally honest yet vicious comment section below. Of course, guys, you can keep in touch with me the following ways. I am on Instagram, I am on Twitter, okay, and that is bookshade number 1. And then I also will have a link to my Goodreads. So that's where, that's where I spill all that tea on my reviews that I do sometimes, as well as you can see what I am currently reading. Okay, get your life. No. But guys, like I always say, remember that reading is Halloween. All right, guys, take care, and I'll be talking to you guys again on Thursday. Take it easy, everyone.